Yeah, because he actually has like no like he's not trying to get her back or anything. Like there's nothing malicious. He's literally just friends with the family still. I mean, he still loves her.
Yeah, like he still wants to,
but he's not trying to like, or is that part of the thing? Is he actively trying to ruin it as well?
I think he's casually.
Because I thought it was more Robert De Niro's, like the dad who's actively trying to ruin it. What is going on with you over there?
I just did it wrong.
Super Mario RPG is fun.
Was that your open? Is that what you wanted?
I mean, if we can do all of this, the open still. I'm almost at the end of it already. So
yeah, you were saying that the other day.
Yeah, so it's like for it to be $60, I feel like it should have been like a $40 remake instead of $60.
It's Nintendo.
Yeah, I know. But I am curious. I am excited to see what the like post game stuff is though. Because I know there's a little bit like maybe like challenge runs with bosses and stuff. But I also, the more I've been playing, I don't know if you would have actually enjoyed it. You would like, I think you would like play it for like an hour and then never play it again.
Never pick it up. Yeah, it really doesn't interest me.
Yeah,
like wholeheartedly.
It's just a nostalgia kick. They were literally they got $60 for my childhood, for me to relive a piece of my childhood.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I went on I got Munch's Oddworld. Because even like when that game came out, I don't remember it being very good, but I bought it. I bought Stubbs a Zombie.
Yeah.
You know, and these aren't, even at the time, weren't great games.
Well, I mean, Super Mario RPG is a great game. For like it's regarded as one of the best Super Nintendo games that came out. The graphics are still regarded as like for Super Nintendo absolutely amazing. The response time and the gameplay is still really good. Like the cartridge is like fucking like $200.
It's one of those.
Yeah. I only played the Elite Super Nintendo games, Tommy.
We need to go to Pink Gorilla soon. I need to find more. I got to figure out how to display them. Need a frame. Need like a custom.
Like a
frame.
case.
Yeah, like a case.
A hanging case. Mm-hmm. Shelf.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right.
This is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is Tommy and Jacob's mixtape. Hello, everyone. Happy holidays.
I wanted to yell like Dennis Leary, but I know you wouldn't like that. Yeah. Welcome to Christmas time.
We're doing holidays.
Stuff.
We're
Remember when we did Hanukkah stuff last year?
Yeah, we're really leaning into Christmas here. We have a whole block set up.
Yeah.
But all Christmas movies, but of a different theme.
Oh, we can call them holiday movies.
They're Christmas movies.
Is Christmas not a holiday?
I know, but I'm just saying these are specifically. Shut up. So, yes, if you're looking at our promos, we are doing 1994's The Ref, which is one of my favorite Christmas movies.
Yeah.
I really.
Which it's like, I was like, as we were moving, I'm like, I know it's like, I was thinking like, is this one of those movies that just happens to happen around Christmas time? Or is it like a legit Christmas movie? And it actually is like kind of a legit Christmas movie.
It is. For those of you that haven't seen it, a quick little synopsis. A cat burglar on the run kidnaps a toxic married couple on Christmas Eve, only to regret every languishing moment.
Did you see the stop sign?
Did you see the stop sign? Didn't you, Lloyd? Yes, this is a dark Christmas comedy.
Yeah, no, it's a very dark comedy.
It's very
90s too.
Very 90s, and I didn't realize how quotable it was until I pulled up the quotes.
It's because it's Dennis Leary.
Yes,
for most of it. I mean, even still, like Kevin Spacey and Judy Davis, like their chemistry as a like volatile couple is so potent.
Yeah, it's palatable. Like it's,
which also like when they actually do have their moments of tenderness, it makes it even more palpable. Just like, let me actually happy. There you go. But yeah. Did you say what year?
94. Came out March 11th, 1994.
Yes.
Weird.
Yeah, no, weird time. Well, yeah. So this wasn't promoted as a holiday movie. It was promoted as a vulgar Denis Leary movie.
Well, then it's also in other countries. It's known as Hostile Hostages.
That's funny.
Which I think is a pretty good title.
That is.
That really speaks. That's what the movie's about.
No, exactly. And why? Did you pick up why? Did you find where in the Wikipedia why it's called The Ref at all?
Well, I figured because he's the referee between the two of them.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But it's actually literally so. Well, let's just get into writer and director, and then I can we'll talk about the production and whatnot. We can get into acting and stuff.
Okay.
So this was directed by Ted Demme, who is also directed. He directed Denis Leary's stand-up specials like No Cure for Cancer, and like some of his shorts. So yeah, MTV stuff.
We'll get into that, but just because I feel like it might be kind of weird. Denis Leary is a stand-up comedian.
Yes, his popularity started as a stand-up comedian,
yes.
Rant comic.
Just if you were, a very angry, aggressive,
Irish.
Can't really sit through his stand-up very much. I like him a lot as an actor, but I don't really like his.
I love his stand-up.
I don't like that screaming at me.
Yeah,
thing.
you don't like the Lewis Black, Denis Leary.
No, but that's the thing. Is like I like the content, if that makes sense. Like Lewis, that's a great example. Lewis Black is a very intelligent, clever guy, but it just stresses me out, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. But yeah, so Ted, who unfortunately he passed away in 2002.
Yeah,
the only thing
sudden heart attack.
Yeah, the only thing I saw of his was Blow. That was the only movie.
I mean, he has done music videos. A movie that I keep wanting us to do at some point, Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence, Life. He directed Beautiful Girls, which is also written by Scott Rosenberg, who wrote Con Air a couple weeks ago.
I just saw who's in it. I'm like, nah.
Beautiful Girls or
Beautiful Girls, yeah.
Matt Dillon,
yeah.
Uma Thurman.
I just saw Matt Dillon. I was like, yeah. A piano player at a crossroads life returns home to friends on their own problems. Yeah, I'd watch that. Okay. Comedy drama. I like comedy dramas.
What, Beautiful Girls?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Anyways,
still here stuck on Beautiful Girls. None more you beautiful girls. Anyhow, so Ted Demme, he unfortunately passed away in 2002. Apparently, like a lot of people, like when he passed away, like there was a handful of like movies and people that like dedicated their attributed their like work to him. So like, Paul Thomas Anderson dedicated Punch Drunk Love to Ted Demme. Truth About Charlie, which is a remake of Charade, is dedicated to his memory. John Favreau and Denis Leary talk about him in this. Is that an IFC program? Dinner for Five an episode was just like given into like reminiscing about Demme's life and whatnot. So like I think especially like Blow, because that's kind of a critically acclaimed film.
That's a sad one.
Yeah,
it's a sad movie.
I think he probably would have ended up. He would have had. He was going into like have an amazing career.
Yeah, like he was gonna have an interesting career.
Yeah.
And then our writers. Who do you want to start with?
Honestly, so we can just say both, because Marie Weiss is the sister-in-law to Richard LaGravenese.
Yes.
And she essentially like wrote the story and like the idea of the screenplay, and then Richard started working like on the actual screenplay, and then eventually just kind of was like, I'm tired of executives fucking doing stuff. So yeah, did you read the production on Wikipedia?
Huh. A little bit. Go ahead. Good. Sorry.
So I'm just gonna kind of read the entire thing because there's some fun stuff to discuss in it.
Alrighty.
So Richard LaGravenese co-wrote the film with his sister-in-law Marie Weiss. It was inspired by their families. For example, the dinner scene. Both Marie and I are Italian Catholics who married into Jewish families. So we do have those big holiday dinners. LaGravenese, Weiss began writing the script in 1989 after she and her husband moved from New York to California. Inspiration came from an argument she had with him, and she thought, wouldn't it be great if there was a third party to step in and referee? She wrote several drafts, consulted with LaGravenese in 91. They took it to Disney. The studio approved the project within 20 minutes. LaGravenese spent a year revising the script until finally he got tired of doing rewrites for executives. After Demme directed comedian Denis Leary in No Cure for Cancer, the stand-up comedy special for Showtime, they got the script for the ref and decided to do it. The studio cast Leary based on the sarcastic, funny man persona he cultivated in MTV spots that Demme directed. Leary joined the project as part of a 3-picture deal with Disney. Denis Leary, 3-picture deal with Disney. I just want to emphasize that for a second. And their involvement motivated LaGravenese to come back onto the project. And then Don Simpson, executive producer, described the overall tone, biting and sarcastic, blah, blah, blah. After test audiences responded poorly to the film's original ending, Gus turns himself in to show Jesse that a life of crime leads nowhere quickly. A new ending was shot in January 1994.
Yeah, that would have been out of character.
Way out of character.
That would have been weird. I would have agreed with that.
Yeah.
Like, no.
That's not the Christmas Miracle. But that also makes sense why the endings kind of feel so pushed, rushed. Lloyd's like, I wouldn't turn in somebody that I care about. Why do you now care about this criminal?
What is it called when you start caring for your kidnapper?
Stockholm Syndrome?
Yeah. Stockholm Syndrome is set in at that point.
But yeah, no. So just really quick. Actually, no. When we get to Denis Leary, I'll ask you. I want to see if you can pinpoint the other two Disney movies.
Bugs Life, Ice Age.
Ice Age is not.
No, it's not Disney.
Mm-mm. That's DreamWorks.
Sandlot.
Nope. And that was before this.
Demolition Man.
No.
That weirdly feels like it might be a Buena Vista movie.
No, not at all.
No?
No.
Okay.
It's a Operation Dumbo Drop.
What the fuck is that?
It's a Bill Murray movie where Bill Murray has to take an elephant and like fly it across into America. It's a fucking.
It's got Ray Liotta in it.
Yeah.
What? And Danny Glover?
Yeah, dude, this movie it's bonkers.
Okay. Anyways, all right. so it's Bugs Life and Operation Dumbo Drop.
Yes.
Okay. All right. How many movies do you watch this time?
I counted like 42, but it's I don't know. These years are so weird for me.
And I counted 27.
The mid 90s is kind of like I'm not counting movies that I'm like like Three Ninjas Kickback. I watched that when I was a kid. Could I tell you what happens in it? No.
Oh, that's with the little kids, right?
Yeah, with like Tum Tum.
Yeah. So let's get into it's starring should probably go pretty quick, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as we've already been talking about, Denis Leary
plays Gus. Rescue Me.
Small Soldiers, Sandlot.
Yeah, he had a lot of
Operation Dumbo Drop.
He had a lot of bit parts and a lot of stuff.
He has a lot of bit parts and a lot of stuff like that, you know? Like,
well, the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a supporting role. That's a supporting lead.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking he's not like in it for very long.
No, but he's also like one of the main characters.
Yeah, I know, but he's still not. I'm just saying actual screen time. I'm trying to think of his most screen time because even
movies like this.
Yeah, Rescue Me. He was
Tommy.
Of course,
yeah.
the
this was his like kind of first like leading role. There was a movie that was
Demolition Man.
Yeah, I don't remember him in that.
He's the guy that they brought Wesley Snipes to kill. He's the rebel leader that lives underground.
Oh my God.
Edgar Friendly. Yeah. Don't you have a job to do? Don't you have someone to kill? They're trying to kill Denis Leary.
Whoa.
That's what I mean. There's a lot of like little, and even then too, because what he does as well is that in all of his little like Small Soldiers, Demolition Man, he has one of his like stand-up routines always in it,
like a little rant.
Like I want to run naked, covered head to toe in Jello, and like.
Well, it's because they just give him the freedom to just improv.
Well, yeah, because in Small Soldiers he has that whole thing about the toys. I even like he's the CEO of the toy company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the movie before this, that kind of was like, he plays like this, like a crime boss, and he murders somebody, and the people watch it. I don't know. I can't remember the name of it. I don't want to look it up, but it was kind of like, this is like his first really like leading role, but like he had a couple of like small film roles. That one's like the supporting lead, like the villain type thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
He's in I highly recommend, I think I mentioned it before, he's in a movie called Suicide Kings.
Yeah, you've talked about it.
If you haven't seen that, that's cool. That's a cool one.
I have this like vague memory of Denis Leary, and he was doing, what was that stand-up competitive reality show? You remember? Last Comic Standing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was like the first time, it was like being produced on ABC, like for the first, like for one of its first seasons. And he was like supposed to be a host, and he is just not having it.
Yeah.
Like, and he's just like so not wanting to be there. And you can tell he's making fun of the show while it's like they're filming it. And like, and he's like calling I think he like calls all the comedians on there just like complete fucking hack. Like they're like, he starts to go like he
also did music too. Do you remember that?
He did a couple of songs.
Oh, I know, but he was one of those early like comedy song bits. I want to say straight up music videos for him.
Well, I mean, yeah, because he had the MTV. He had a like Ted Demme did like stuff with him for MTV. So like his rants would be like an MTV short in the early '90s, and then Asshole was like.
I was just thinking, I'm just a regular Joe with a.
But Adam Sandler was doing stuff before Denis Leary was doing that.
Well, I know, but that's what I'm like. God,
because you keep saying like he was one of the first, and he's like,
I said he was one of the earlier.
Yeah, and there's people even way before him that were doing that.
But even with like Denis Leary, it's like I feel like it's one of those you might recognize if the name sounds familiar, you probably know who we're talking about.
Yeah,
because he's popped around randomly.
He's been all over the place. Yeah,
like even that he's the dad in Sandlot. You're like,
yeah,
oh yeah, he is the dad in Sandlot. You know, you're like, oh yeah, he is.
I think honestly the most surprising thing of it that I've ever seen was him being Spider-Man. Him being like Gwen Stacy's dad. That's Captain Stacy.
Mine is like his kids' movies like Bug's Life and Ice Age and stuff like that, because he's just such a vulgar man. And
yeah, it's fair.
And he's in these like.
Well, but I mean, yeah, Bug's Life 100%.
He's a ladybug, right? Yeah, he's Francis, the ladybug.
Yeah. Oh man, I actually never put that together.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Shoe fly, don't bother me.
Wow.
Get up and fight like a girl.
But I mean, he also has like good sense of humor for that stuff, you know. But
he's got a good voice too.
Yeah, exactly. And I can't remember who's he in Ice Age. Is he the?
He's the Sabretooth.
Yeah,
Diego.
Yeah.
It's so weird how memory works. Like, why do I remember his name in Ice Age? I don't know why. His name is Diego, and I don't even have to look it up. I'm like,
I mean, how many times did you watch a movie when you were a kid?
I don't know. It's just, why is that there? I couldn't pass chemistry, but I can tell you the name of the saber-tooth.
What was the name of the mammoth?
Manny.
No, that just makes sense.
Yeah. And then Scratch is the squirrel.
And then Sid.
Yeah, Sid. Well, the only one that's kind of the odd man out is Diego. Sid the sloth.
Yeah.
Manny the mammoth. Diego the saber-tooth cat. Doesn't really roll off the tongue.
No, not really. Anywho, okay. So yeah, Denis Leary, one of our leads in this, followed by...
I was going to say Judy Davis.
Yeah, Judy Davis.
Caroline, who plays the wife. Funny enough, I didn't even realize that was her in it. And she was in Marie Antoinette.
Yeah, can you pinpoint which character she was?
No.
She was the one that was stripping all of the...
the transfer over from...
Yeah, she's like you are going to become French now.
Yeah, okay.
She was that woman.
Yeah, which we reviewed that episode 148.
Yes. She played Judy Garland in a Judy Garland TV special.
Okay.
Which I was like, oh, that's cool. And other than that, I have not seen her probably in really anything else. I looked through her IMDb list and I was like, I've seen a couple of these movies and I couldn't tell you who they are.
That's the thing. It's kind of like a Denis Leary thing too. for me at least. There's a lot of movies I had seen, like, and I was like, I guess she's somewhere in there. Like, it took me a minute to remember who she was in The Breakup, because she has just...
I don't even remember The Breakup well enough to tell you who else is in that.
She's Jennifer Aniston's boss.
Oh, okay.
And she's in like 2 scenes very briefly with Justin Long.
I forgot Justin Long. Oh, Justin Long plays like her gay coworker, doesn't he?
Yeah, with the long hair.
Yeah. He's hilarious in that
She's
movie.
she's a very Meryl Streep, Devil Wears Prada.
Probably just a complete knockoff of it,
that
pretty
kind
much.
of like vibe, you know. But yeah, she plays the wife, and then our last person is Kevin Spacey.
Yeah,
Lloyd.
We're just not gonna. We're not worried. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about
who's also in Bug's Life.
Yes. Huh. We'll be talking about Kevin Spacey's character and whatnot, but again, like we don't really.
And we've talked about it before.
Yeah.
We talked about him in Baby Driver. I think that was my Mogwai that year.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
That was episode 54.
Because I think Mad Max was it.
Maybe it was my honorable mention.
Yeah. But yeah, moving forward. Really quick, just shout outs.
Oh yeah, to honorable mentions.
J.K. Simmons' film debut.
Is this really?
Yeah.
Oh,
first film.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Kristen Baranski.
Christine. Sorry. Christine Baranski. Grinch.
Yeah, it was like she's Mary May Huvier.
I mean, you know it better than I do. You're the Grinch guy.
Mary May Huvier.
She's also
BD Wong, which was funny.
Also playing Dr. Wong.
Yeah. And we just talked about him in Salt and Sea. I just was like, man, actually, this is a movie a lot of people that just kind of pop around, you know? They're always just kind of there doing some kind of bit part.
Well, it was funny. I remember as the camera was going up to Dr. Wong's office, I was sitting there, I'm like, this is fucking BD Wong, isn't it? Like, not even, before he was even on the screen, I was like a triggered memory. I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm about to see BD Wong on my screen right now. And boom, there he was. I was like, it's like, how many times has he just played a fucking doctor?
Well, this is the same thing with like Raymond J. Barry. He's always the lieutenant.
Also,
the cop.
X-Files.
Is he a cop?
He's a senator.
Okay, see? Okay. He's either a cop or he's like some kind of like politician.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Because I think he was the cop in Falling Down.
I still haven't seen Falling Down, actually.
That blows my mind.
Yeah.
Like for you. That's
Michael Douglas. Yeah.
It's crazy. That is a...
Hey, man, there's a lapse in everybody's stuff.
I know, but I still haven't watched the Russell Crowe one.
Yeah.
If you liked that movie, I'm
you
assuming...
You gotta see the Russell Crowe one.
You'll like the Russell Crowe one. J.K. Simmons also in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Toby universe.
All the universe.
That's kind of all I could think of our honorable mentions.
Yeah, no, there's no one else. Yeah.
Do you want to give us our scores?
Yeah, moving into review time. So, IMDb, this sits at a 6.9. 69.
4-year-old.
Boobies. My Baldur's Gate characters are naked.
Yeah, I have the video.
I share that with so many people. All right. Then on Rotten Tomatoes, 73% tomato meter and 73% audience score. Even Stevens.
Yeah, so the Metascore 59, mixed or average. We have 17 positive, 7 mixed, and 3 negative. For the positive, 91 out of 100. What was his name? Glenn Kenny at Entertainment Weekly. The performances are uninformedly excellent. Even Leary knows when to shut up and just listen. And this nasty romp delivers so many honest laughs. You may end up watching it twice in the same night to make sure you weren't hallucinating.
It's a weird.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay. It's like I don't disagree, but I also don't. I don't know. That's a weird review.
This is another Roger Ebert, 75 out of 100, Chicago Sun-Times. Material like this is only as good as the acting and writing. The ref is skillful in both areas. Denis Leary, who has a tendency, like many stand-up comics, to start shouting and try and make points with overkill, here creates an entertaining character. And it's like, you kind of have to remember about that too in this era. of stand-up comedy.
It's very much a yell.
It's very in your face.
Yeah.
A lot of comics are like this.
I mean, this is like it's coming off of like the Andrew Dice Clay. Oh God, Sam. Oh God, I can't remember his name. He's kind of a bigger guy, but he always just like a trench coat, just always yelling.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
like very much. It's a product of its time, you know. That's why like people like George Carlin at this time were so goddamn special, because they were just calm and observatory.
Or who's my favorite one
From like the 90s?
from that era? Mitch Hedberg.
I guess, Mitch Hedberg is technically this from that era, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's kind of like, he's moving into like the new wave, like Dave Attell. Like,
Escalator never breaks. It just becomes stairs.
yeah. Like, the Insomniac, like, yeah. I guess, like, yeah, Denis Leary is kind of like the tail end of the yelling comedian. Even though he's like still kind of like in that like age group with them.
Well, it's always like, you know, wearing all New Yorker, all black leather jacket, smoking on stage, like, you know, that kind of.
Fucking Bill, I can't remember his name. He was friends with Mark Maron, but Mark Maron's talking about it. He's like, and I come upstairs and there's Bill, and he's like, I'm a fucking poet. Just like, Jesus Christ. Mark Maron's part of that group of people. Like, his earlier stuff is kind of like that yell in your face thing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
No, I didn't
so,
know
like,
that.
No, that's why, like, I love Mark Maron now, because he's like, and then get a little like, I don't know what I'm talking about here. Just
For our mixed 42 out of 100, Christian Science Monitor, David Sturritt. This is a funny idea, but the movie is too thinly written to build any real credibility, and the cast rarely seems in tune with the vapid vulgarities that dominate the dialogue.
Interesting. I kind of agree with some of that, because when you really break down this script and like this story, it has a lot of like loose parts to it, but you kind of don't worry about that.
I mean, I see what you're saying, but it's like the dialogue is the movie.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you don't really
care about the other stuff.
Yeah, like it's easily to just be like quick, just overthought or like overlooked like thing, you know, because it's the dialogue, it's the characters that are driving the story.
Well, because it's like I really felt like all three of our mains had good chemistry in what we were made to believe this relationship was, you know. The love triangle between the three of them was.
That's a weird way to put it.
But you know what I mean. There wasn't actually a love triangle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was like, maybe don't. For people that haven't seen it, we don't want to put that in their head.
Negative 37 out of 100. Hal Henson at the Washington Post. As it unreels, the rest keeps getting dumber, and unfortunately, it simply wasn't that brilliant to begin with.
Well, alrighty then.
And I didn't really like any of the negatives, so I just picked that one. I was just it's whatever. It
is interesting. I'm just kind of like reminiscing when we realized that we've both seen this movie and both really appreciate this movie, like years ago, obviously. Mm-hmm. And because you're the only other person I've ever met that I've brought up this movie, and that's been like, oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, no one has seen this,
and like this is
I have met.
Yeah, this I rewatched this movie so much as a kid.
Oh yeah, this is like one of my go-to Christmas movies.
And like this should be a movie that I was not watching as a kid.
Like it's sad. It's sad that this movie speaks to us for a reason. You know? It's depressing.
But yeah, kind of going back into those reviews, like the big thing is like this movie is so character driven that it kind of almost starts to feel kind of like almost a slapstickish old Hollywood film, or like kind of like a play.
I get the play thing.
And by like old Hollywood film, I mean more kind of like in the sense of like Arsenic and Old Lace.
Yeah.
Or like Harvey, like a Cary Grant.
Well, it feels like, and then, I mean, this is going to be redundant because we literally just said this, but it feels like a play because it's dialogue based.
Exactly. Yeah. It's so dialogue based and character driven, character heavy that yeah, like there are monologues in this movie after monologues.
Yeah.
Like
everyone has one, basically.
Like, honestly, like you could really use
you could use this.
What do you mean?
Like, I feel like you could use some of these monologues. Like,
yeah, no, that's what I'm getting ready to say. Like, you could actually like take the scenes of like the three of them and use them in an acting workshop, because this script, like the characters, like are actually like there's so much backstory to be flushed out that it would work like really well in acting exercises. You know, so like. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, this script was being worked on for years upon years, you know?
Yeah, and it has, like, because in these monologues and these moments, there's so many different emotions, you know? Like,
yeah,
when Lloyd has his, like, big monologue, it starts off with him, excuse me, you know.
Well, that's the middle of it, technically, you know what I mean? But,
you know, the corpse still has the floor, you know? And it's
love that. That's also, like... The writing is just clever enough that it's a hark back to something that's going to make you laugh. So nobody would say that it's real life type thing, but since like she had just like not even a couple minutes earlier called him a corpse, and so he's now referring to her statement. He's like, and the corpse still has the floor.
It's clever enough that it still feels organic.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, where it's not, doesn't feel like, well, what was I watching? Oh, God, I watched that new fucking Michael Fassbender assassin movie that just came out on Netflix. I can't remember.
Oh, I heard it's good.
I couldn't.
Really?
Well, it's like the whole...
Well, I heard it's... sorry. The person that told me, they said that was one of the most interesting David Fincher films they'd ever watched.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
But it really killed me in the beginning because it does a real Patrick Bateman.
Oh, it's like all dialogue.
The mask that I wear. It was very much that, but it wasn't as interesting.
The person my coworker that watched it was comparing it a little bit to American Psycho.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's the name, right? Patrick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Patrick's monologue was very interesting. I could not handle Fassbender's fucking ranting and raving.
This movie.
I was saying that because it's like that movie felt like they were writing it to try and be clever.
I see. Yes.
This feels organic. Like, yeah, because even in that, like when he's having that ranting, raving, he's very angry, but you can also tell that his feelings are hurt.
Honest.
Yes.
There's honesty behind it.
And his feelings are hurt about what she said. Mm-hmm. You know, like, excuse me.
And then even just like cutting to her reactions as she's just kind of like looking at, like, she's breaking down, hearing this honesty from him.
Yeah.
Like, it's wonderfully acted in these. And Denis Leary just like.
Caroline, if you ever see anything to the end, I'll stick my own dick in my ear.
I want to see what he says. Like, I kidnapped my fucking parents. Or, oh, God.
Well, it's like, and it does that.
You know what I'm going to get you next year, Mom?
A wooden cross.
A wooden cross.
So if anytime you're feeling unsatisfied with all the sacrifices you made, you can climb up there and nail yourself to it. That's what I'm saying. The movie's got, like, even I have it open just to kind of like help me, like, I'm going to start doing that more to help me remember, like, you moments. Know.
Yeah.
But even like she's like offering what I was going to say is that they do the family tension really well.
Yeah.
Not only just with our married couple, but then when you get mom and brother and everyone else.
Well, you really start to like it's just like, it's not just Lloyd and Caroline.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like they're not. It's clear that the mother, the matriarch of the family, is kind of the problem. And also then the brother marrying his mother pretty much.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Oh, dude, Christine Baranski is so exactly like the mom, because like she's
and then
just as controlling.
And then Lloyd married the exact opposites.
Exactly, yeah.
Bohemian, like free spirit. But I just was like thinking about, you know, like right here it says Caroline's offering the pie, and then Rose says, "Sounds too sweet," and then she goes, "Then don't eat it," and then drops it on the table.
Oh yeah,
it's those like little moments of the hostility with the family. You know, like, and just the little things like, who the hell do you think you are? Slipper socks, medium. You know, there's all this like petty anger just like leaking around.
I think one of my favorite moments that had me rolling was like Caroline and Lloyd are having this long drawn out fight, clearly not happy. And then Lloyd's like, Caroline is leaving me. We're getting a divorce. And his brother, why?
Why you fucking think?
Or, oh God, no. Dennis Leary is like, shut up. And then Caroline's like, I have something to say. She looks at him. He's like, okay.
Well, then there's also this like weird, like the running gag of the Santa getting drunker and drunker.
Yeah.
And just becoming like belligerent.
Like, no. What's that smell?
Oh, yeah.
Dennis Leary is sprayed with cat piss at the beginning of the movie. Oh,
yeah, well, maybe Santa won't come back next year. Maybe he and the Easter Bunny will take a fucking cruise to Jamaica and you can eat your own lousy cookies. You know? It's funny.
It's just it's a movie that leans upon dysfunction as a crutch for humor in a very successful way.
Yeah.
And since the honesty and the heartfelt moments do hit right at the times that they need to, it helps balance out that humor. Like you feel the uncomfortable laughter with it, but you feel comfortable laughing at the uncomfortability.
And I think it also helps. It's like, not saying all the time, but I feel like in moments, throughout growing up, there will be possibly moments where your family will become very dysfunctional because of X, Y, and Z going on and whatever. And so if you have ever experienced moments of dysfunctionality in your family, it's funny.
Yeah.
It's kind of like laughing at trauma. You're like sitting there going like I was saying, oh, this feels familiar. That's why it's like,
yeah,
that's why it tickles me, like I just.
Well, okay, so let's think about let's focus on the character arcs here, since this is such a character driven movie. So at the very beginning, we are introduced to Caroline and Lloyd in their having their therapy
session.
Was
their couples therapy.
Couples therapy. Thank you. I was like, what the fuck is it called? Couples therapy, and how just quickly the doctor loses control.
Oh yeah,
of
like fuck you
of them, because you can tell they're both so self-centered about whatever they're fucking feeling. There hasn't been a healthy conversation.
She did this, he did that.
Yeah,
it's just back and forth. Is
exactly.
What they're doing. Yeah,
and it's also what's great is them being kidnapped by Denis Leary and by Gus and being forced into this high tension situation. Weirdly, just it's kind of it forces them to just be honest, because who gives a fuck anymore? What's the worst that can happen right now? We are being held hostage.
Yeah.
So and weirdly he because there's no nonsense of he just cuts through their bullshit, because all they are is just it's just bullshit between He's like, you're a fucking liar. You're a fucking liar. You're both fucking liars.
Yeah.
So their journey to open up to each other, and then I feel and I said the end of this is I feel like the main arc of the movie is weirdly Lloyd choosing to save Gus. It felt weird. I agree with that. I didn't really notice it feeling weird until you pointed it out, but I never noticed it before. I never really thought about it, and since I hadn't seen this movie in so long, it just be weird narrative things like that just now stand out to me a lot more, since I've but we've been doing this for as long as we have, and I've edited scripts and stuff, so it's little moments like this. I'm like, oh, that's just kind of weird.
Well, yeah, because even the initial idea of him giving himself up is also a weird.
No, yeah, well, because when you think Gus has no arc in this. He doesn't. He's the same person at the beginning as he is at the end.
Yeah, because it's but again, that makes sense though for being he's the referee. He's not. Yeah. It's not about he's the thief.
Exactly, yeah. But for us, it's for him to be one of the lead characters, and for us to kind of care about his journey, and there is no journey type thing. Mm-hmm. It's he's just oh, and now he's free.
Yeah,
he got away free, but he didn't get the jewels. He didn't leave the house with the jewels, right?
I mean, he had the Santa bag, so I assumed they were in there.
Fair. Okay. That's one thing I wasn't really keeping track of. But his introduction is just, it's the setup to so many goddamn jokes because like him being like this cat burglar, and like he's taking all the jewels and whatnot, and then he gets sprayed with the cat urine. And he's like booby, like it's what he calls it, like a fucking roadrunner booby trap.
Yeah. Drops him in the basement with the dog.
Yeah, and the dog chews on the fucking kid. There's also the way the movie does set up this sense of kind of heightened reality, like that you have to disbelief, because like the Rottweiler just chewing up a cue ball like that. No, I mean that's terrifying imagery, but not that dog's jaw probably wouldn't be able to do that. Rottweiler has like strong jaws, but also, but a cue ball is fucking like that's their. What are they mad out of actually? Maybe a dog can do that.
I was like, I don't know enough about either cue balls nor Rottweilers.
All I know is I've been hit in the head with a cue ball and it doesn't feel good.
All I know is I haven't been bit by a Rottweiler, but I don't want to be bit by a Rottweiler.
No, I don't want to be bit by a Rottweiler either. What was it? Cannibal? I'm sorry. Dog's name is Cannibal?
His name is Cannibal?
Of course it is.
Well, I was just looking at this too. It's like, you must meet a great many strange and disturbed people, Dr. Wong. In my line of work, you meet some real wackos. You call your patients wackos? Yeah, they like it.
Yeah.
You're a Wong? Yeah, my mom was Irish. And your father wasn't. I like that.
It's kind of more of he's just more of just like, it was more of like a stop fucking asking.
Yeah,
and your father wasn't.
Yeah, I like what you were saying about like the play and you could use these moments as like a workshop.
Yeah.
It would work really well.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of cool to think about. Yeah, but yeah.
No, we haven't even talked about Jesse because that's actually an important like.
Oh yeah.
Like I mean, they're important story beats. Even though like their kid Jesse, who they've sent off to
like a military
school, he's blackmailing his like the headmaster or whatever, like J.K. Simmons' character,
the dean.
Yeah,
whatever he is. Well, that again, that's like, he shows up to like fess up to the whole thing to the parents.
Yeah,
and he looks at and then Gus looks out the window and he's like, the fucking army. What am I, Oswald? Yeah. Like, Jesus Christ, the army's here.
What am I, Oswald?
I mean, yeah, and then it's like you don't meet Jesse until probably like the halfway point, I want to say.
It's about a third.
A third?
A third.
But you find out that he's a very clever kid, but is causing issues because it's like
he wants to be a criminal.
Yeah, and it's her like, what's the line? She says something like, he's a very sensitive entrepreneurial spirit or something like that. And then the dad goes, yeah, the kind that mafia gives scholarships for.
Yeah.
Like the dad isn't having with all of his buffoonery. His
buffoonery.
His gig, his I don't know what I'm looking for.
And then Jesse's also like trying to convince Gus to take him with him for half the movie. He's like, "Oh, let's just go."
Well, and there's Denis Leary's monologue.
Yeah,
shutting down this weird romanticized idea.
Yeah, he's like, "Do you think this is fucking? Do you think I live a great life, kid?"
Yeah, he's like, "No, I'm 35, no retirement plan. My best friend and partner is a 56-year-old alcoholic.
Yeah,
who's still upset that Happy Days isn't on the air
anymore.
No,
he can't understand how Happy Days isn't on the air anymore.
Yeah, and it's just like, I have no family, no friends." I
spend half my time in Jamaica with another partner that we steal VHS on back
and then we start over again,
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a pretty like kind of like shutting this kid down about.
And even so the kid's all like wanting to go with him, like, it's like, take me with you to the docks, and he's like, no, god damn it, kid, go home.
Yeah, you're right. It is weird. I mean, you can't expect me to give up somebody I care about.
Yeah.
Why?
Also, how do you care about him now?
Yeah, and it's also like you didn't. I don't know if they were trying to do this Christmas miracle fucking thing.
That's what it is. It's the Christmas miracle.
Yeah, and it's like, no, you just make it so they're still. I mean, that was a funny scene too when they're like almost now using their bickery as like a superpower to help him out.
Yeah,
by arguing how to get there.
Also, that's another thing is like that moment, like the cops show up they don't search. They're tied up. They don't even, the cops would search the rest of the house.
No, but you have to keep in mind that also kind of the running joke in this whole thing is that the cops in this town are.
But these are no longer the town cops. These are the state police.
Oh, is that who it was?
Yes.
I thought it was still...
Because, and a running joke in this entire movie is that the town police are just simple people.
Well, they're not equipped for it,
Yeah.
They're not equipped for really... it's in this suburban white area. They don't have to deal with anything real ever,
Bob, I nailed your wife.
Oh, yeah.
3 times, Bob.
She said you never could go 3 times, Bob.
There's so much spite in this movie.
Yeah, that's what is great. It's like there's just so much of like, and what I like, there are moments of yelling and everything like that, but there's also just these really quiet moments, when she's telling the dream sequence.
Oh God!
You must try the penis. It is a delicacy. And then the Dr. Wong's like something like, "How does that make you feel, Lloyd?" And he goes, "It makes me feel like I really wish you stopped saying it to our friends at dinner parties."
Yeah,
there's all this really great hostility.
Later, Dennis Leary's like, "I don't think people should share their dreams. Those are private." Like, what kind of fucking idiot shares their dreams?
Like that when. We finally meet mom, in that whole thing, and like he just walks into the kitchen. He's like, she's my mother. She's a fucking bitch, Lloyd.
Like after they got him all tied, like they now like the jig is up and like they're tying up the mom and his brother.
He's like, I want to fucking hit her. I want to fucking hit her. He's like, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Or he's like, I want to tie her to the back of a fucking truck.
No, because he gets to go at her and. Like, Lloyd holds him. He's like, I just want to fucking...
He's getting ready to pistol. Yeah. Like, he's about to knock this old bag out.
And she's just like, I dare you to do it.
You don't have the balls. I know what I loved, too, is... I didn't write down her name, but the wife, Kristen...
Christine Baranski's character.
Yeah, her.
Yeah.
I liked that she just had this, like... ever running it's Christmas, we need to act a certain way.
Oh yeah,
kind of joke going on.
Drugs, setting people on fire.
What kind of Christmas is this? But she's still like slapping the shit out of her son, even to the point where Denis Leary Gus is like, touch that kid one more fucking time and I'm gonna shove that pig up your ass. He's talking about the roast they have on it. But I just like her. I love
how the kids also like help him tie everybody.
Well, I think she even goes, "Go grab grandma." Yeah. The daughter like runs over. Like,
they're all like, Christmas is fun now. It's so fucking.
But like her whole thing is like, stop pissing me off. It's Christmas. She's like aggressively like, we need to celebrate Christ the right way.
It's like what? Maybe when they catch him, they'll set him free. The spirit of Christmas. Who would set people? No one would set for who would set free a
Republicans.
Republicans would. So.
Or and she even says something like this about the spirit of Christmas, and she said that's not the spirit of the Christmas. The spirit of Christmas is you do wrong and then you burn in hell forever. She's just like this total psycho.
Yeah, so we love this movie.
Yeah, this is like when like you were saying earlier, when I talk about this movie, like even my mom didn't really remember this movie until I re-described it, and she's like, "Oh, I kind of remember that," and I was like, you must have shown me. Like, I don't know where else I would have got my hands on this.
It could have just been like on cable at one time.
No, it's probably Big Lots. I think about it.
Like, did you have it on DVD?
Mm-hmm.
So I had is this one of those that I recorded?
Well, Big Lots had like a big bin you go in, and it was always like $2,
yeah.
So I'd grab stuff.
I wasn't. So my early life, around when this movie came out, my family we didn't buy VHSs or buy DVDs. Well, DVDs weren't even a thing really yet. We would record it on a VHS because we didn't have the money.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
So there would be 5 movies on a VHS. And you have to fast forward to try to time to get to the right spot.
The right spot. Oh,
yeah,
boy, different time.
Very different time.
But yeah, this is like whenever I do bring it up, someone doesn't know. And is it one of those I recommend it to certain people? Like if I know your sense of humor well enough, like this isn't going to be everyone's cup of tea for humor, but there are like people I've been like, I think you would like this movie.
Yeah.
You know, like it's pretty funny.
There's definitely only people in like certain age bracket too.
You think?
I don't think this movie would be
like
made
young
today.
Oh God, no. Are you crazy?
I think some young people would be very offended by some of the stuff in this movie.
Oh, it's incredibly offensive, but
Yeah.
we're a different generation and we laugh at that. There's a lot of...
Are the millennials were the first very sensitive. I think like Gen Xers were very much the very unoffendable, like, you can't offend me type. Like,
You have no idea what I've seen. Yeah, it's definitely... Well, and it's like... But that's like the thing, too. Like, is even like with Gus, it's like he is this foul-mouthed thief. Mm-hmm. He doesn't care about hurting your feelings. He doesn't care about you. He
cuts through the bullshit.
Yeah, you know, and he says some really...
He's an Irish Catholic from Boston.
Yeah, that's a thief. Like, he doesn't smoking, drinking, gun toting. Like, he doesn't give a shit.
He is Dennis Leary.
He's Dennis. Yeah, he's Dennis Leary. He's playing Dennis Leary.
He's Dennis Leary if he was a cat burglar.
Yeah,
much.
you know. So it's like, yeah, he says a lot of. Oh no! Here, this is the quote. You're the one who suffocated him with limitations. Our son's a very sensitive, creative, juvenile delinquent. Boy, he has the kind of imagination the mafia gives scholarships for.
Yeah,
that's the line. That's good.
All right, we ready?
Yeah, sorry. I feel like we have to stop now, otherwise it's going to start.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting ready to just go into quote mode.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, regardless of how much I really do like this movie, critically and honestly, I think it's more of like a 2.5. Like,
Really?
Yeah, just because of like how how weird the ending is. Really, it's.
I get that, but it's such a quick moment that
It's because it's not just that. It's also the oversight of the cops not finding the family being tied up. Like there's parts of it that just like,
well, they ask, is there anyone else in the house? And they say no.
yeah, but cops would go and check the rest of the house still. They're looking for a criminal.
Yeah, but they said that he
They're
left.
looking for a criminal.
And they said he left. They were tied up, and they said he was gone. So they were trying to find him. But you also have to think about, too, that everyone is under this weird pressure with this whole situation.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I was gonna give it a 3.
I mean, I'll settle for a 3.
Well, because I was gonna give it a 3.5. But if you're saying 2.5, we got to meet in the middle. So give it a 3.
I don't think it's definitely not a 3.5. I think it is like the characters, like there's so much, like me personally, like I love this movie so much. A 4 for me personally. Actual critically wise, not a 4.
No, that's fair. So yeah, let's do a 3. Like, it's good. It's not great. It's not amazing. It's not terrible. And I think that I'm also keeping it in light of the fact that it is, in a sense, it is a very unique Christmas movie.
It is.
It's not.
It is 100% a Christmas movie. Like the very opening montage, like it's interesting. Is like it's got like Christmas feeling type music, but it's like more in like in a minor chord. And like there's like kids, like they're like, it's interesting. It's like they're looking through the window of a toy store, like it's the beginning of a Christmas story.
Yeah.
Like it's got some like little homage to like a small little hamlet town getting ready for Christmas. The Christmas spirit is in the air. You know, the kids are joyful. The shops are closing early. Everyone's going home for the holiday. And then we cut up to Dr. Wong's office and dysfunction. So we're set up with holidays and dysfunction.
Yeah. And I think that like the weird like spirit of the movie too is like the Santa is actually a very funny way to think about the movie, because he starts off like joyful Santa, and then as it progresses, he gets more and more dysfunctional and belligerent and drunk, and he's almost like riding with them in their story. You know what I mean?
Didn't you have a gun?
Yeah, you did. You had a gun. I saw. You want to fight me? I'm Santa Claus.
Pop.
It's like, great, I just beat up Santa Claus. But yeah, that's why I want to give it a 3, just because for a Christmas movie, especially compared to the other stuff that we've done over the years and just have seen, you know. This isn't your Hallmark Channel Christmas movie. No. This is probably the most polar opposite to something like that you can find. That's not like a Christmas slasher, you know, one of those kind of things.
It is interesting because like one of the things that Denis Leary kind of brings up that he feels, so this movie was like up against like Ace Ventura and
I didn't realize it was as old as it was.
1994.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, Guarding Tess, and Lightning Jack on the opening weekend. It only grossed 11 million box office wise.
Yeah.
And like it, but like it, people were expecting to do more. But Leary's like, no. The way that they promoted this movie was that it was like a vulgar Denis Leary being vulgar movie, and not. He's like, there's the heart of Christmas in it, and they didn't promote any of that.
That's weird. That's a weird choice.
Yeah. Like, where's we at? The riff did not perform as well as that the box office Leary would have liked, and he blamed the studio's method of marketing it. They did me like the MTV guy, and they shortchanged what the movie was all about.
We should watch the trailer after this.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm just curious to see what the vibe is, you know.
And you guys should watch the trailer too. See.
Yeah.
See.
Well, but even this coming out in March.
Yeah, exactly. Well, okay. So really quick, if they showed it to test audiences, that would, and then they reshot the ending in January 1994. It feels like maybe it was like the test audience was maybe like late 93, and the idea was to release it around Christmas,
New Year's.
Yeah,
the tail end of the holiday season.
But since the ending of Gus turning himself in wasn't accepted, then they had to figure out how to do the reshoot. Reshoot happens in January. 2 months later, it's released in March.
February, March. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
because at that point too, it's like they just need to get it out.
Exactly.
We can't hold on to it for another year.
And it's also Walt Disney Productions releasing this. This is Buena Vista. Oh yeah, no. The 3 movies that Denis Leary agreed for Disney was this, Operation Dumbo Drop, and A Bug's Life.
Weird,
right? And also, like, that's me deducing from his list. Like, I couldn't find the official list of what he agreed with it, but looking at his acting list, it's like these have to be it. Which it is weird to think that this was distributed by Disney.
That's very weird.
I mean, by Buena Vista, but still.
Yeah. It's all the stuff that they don't want to besmirch their name with. You know, they don't want to put the big D on there. He was 14 now. So yeah, 3 out of 5 for the ref. We are doing. What are we doing
next week?
Yeah. Oh God.
Oh, what are we doing next week?
Jingle All the Way.
Yes. Ugh. Give me some of those cookies, Phil Hartman. Phil Hartman, rest in peace.
This is Jingle All the Way is a Schwarzenegger Sinbad one, right?
Yeah.
Weird. Another comedian that's just basically doing his routine.
Doing his bits.
Yeah, his bits in a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
That was a weird accident because that's all he does, right? The toy companies are making you like he has like all these conspiracy theories about Christmas and stuff.
Sinbad's comedy wasn't really conspiracy.
No, I never really watched Sinbad. I missed that era.
You're probably too young for it, honestly.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, like I remember the Sinbad show.
Okay, we're okay.
We'll get into that next week.
Yeah. So yeah, join us next week for Jingle All the Way. I hope you have a nice holiday.
Better than.
I
hope. Hope you get along with your family.
Or if not, watch this after hanging out with them. Yeah. You might get a dry chuckle.
Put it on while the family's home and see what happens. Who connects.
Yes, see what happens. So follow us on Instagram for our posts to see what's coming up. We're on Spotify and anywhere you might get your podcasts. Please rate us, leave comments, all that kind of stuff. We are self-produced, so any reviews that you give us would definitely help us get more listens and out there a little more.
Yeah.
So thank you for listening. This is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is Tommy and Jacob's Mixtape.